So, Secret Lairs sure are a thing, aren't they? I'm not going to waste anyone's time by talking about the ways that they might not be good as a product. For the sake of this video, I'm actually going to assume that Secret Lairs are a perfect product. If you want a video just dunking on Secret Lairs, boy howdy, do I have some good news for you. You can find any of a million YouTube videos that do that, but I want to talk about what the concept of a secret lair represents from my perspective. So, as I assume most people watching this would already know, I am a digital altruist. Concept of making alters and proxies that bring in new things to the game that weren't there before is not new. It's I'm honestly pretty new to this because people have been doing that for basically the entire time Magic has existed. But what is new is Wizards of the Coast being the ones that are doing it. Yeah, that Wizards of the Coast gets to control what the valid forms of customization are concerns me deeply. People get this sense that the only valid way they can appreciate something is by owning it. Now, this is not new. This is just a feature of capitalism in general. And I think that Secret Lairs are a very interesting test case on where some of these attitudes come from, and also some of the weird ways that Magic the Gathering specifically pushes people to have certain philosophies about ownership. This weird state of being simultaneously really excited and kind of scared about the way that my work is becoming less special. There is a thing that I despise now, and it happens a lot, which is that I post something that someone really likes, some card, some pixel art thing, and they hit the tweet button and they tag MTG Secret Lair and they say, hey, can we get a secret lair like this? Obviously, there are some issues where some groups are not okay with proxies, which, you know, I've said more than enough about that. Because there is this sense of owning things defines what you can and cannot do in the game, there is this fixation on it. But what's interesting about Secret Lairs specifically is something that they draw out when it comes to the transition from not owning something to owning something. So again, I'm going to assume Secret Lairs are a perfect product. And I'm also going to assume that there are no delays being caused by the state of the world right now. So there's a Secret Lair to celebrate Black History Month. And the sales of that Secret Lair go up sometime mid-February, I think. But you're not going to get those cards. You're not going to get to play with those cards during the month that they're specifically supposed to celebrate. The entire context of this thing that you're buying ostensibly to celebrate something, it changes what the focus is from even away from ownership. It's not about the ownership anymore. It's about the moment that you purchase something. I think that the weirdest one of all was, for me, the Valentine's Day one. Because Valentine's Day is a day when you give a gift to someone else, generally speaking. If I was the very invested in Magic player, and my partner who I was deciding to get them for was not as invested, if I went up to them and said, hey, here's this receipt for a Secret Lair I got, there's no physical cards, but it's a Valentine's Day gift, I don't think that for people outside of Magic that would be very appealing. I think they would feel a little like, well, what is this? Like, this isn't a Valentine's Day gift. This is, you bought a digital listing. And again, I am aware that a lot of the delays right now are due to the state of the world and not really something that Wizards of the Coast can control. I am also aware that if they didn't sell on the actual date that it's supposed to be celebrating, people wouldn't buy it. That's just the nature of human psychology. If I, like, let's say I wanted to buy the Valentine's Day thing for my partner, and with print to demand, there's no real reasonable way that I could get it within any sooner than a month, even in a perfect world with a perfect product with no issues. if they were gonna sell like a month in advance so you could actually do it as a gift, it just wouldn't sell as well. That is the nature of things. And I also want to just point out that me observing and commenting on a phenomenon does not mean, even if I don't like that phenomenon, does not mean that there is a solution or that it needs to change. But for me, I think it's just interesting to observe how all these factors have come together to create this product that is supposed to celebrate a specific date that is so divorced from the actual practices of what you do on that date. And it's just interesting what it says, that the way you're supposed to engage with this product is not even by playing the game with the cards. It's just about buying them. Now, I don't believe that this is unique to Magic the Gathering. I think this is things that emerge from trading card games with lots of little physical pieces that you can own and move around and combine as you see fit. But I'm going to focus on Magic the Gathering because it's the biggest one. I think if we look back on prior issues with the Walking Dead Secret Lair, it becomes more obvious why certain people reacted so viscerally to that. I am not, by the way, saying that negative reactions to that were wrong, just that they aren't relevant to what I'm talking about today. I think that the idea that something would not be available to buy deeply upset a lot of people. So when I call myself a digital altruist, I am kind of using a political term, because what I'm doing is not actually altering original cards at all. I am creating completely new digital images that did not exist before. Physical altering is generally considered to be a higher form by some people because you can legally sell your product. But if you interact with proxy makers in general, one of the things you're most likely to know is that we have to waste tons of time explaining to people that we cannot sell our work. Even in the Spice 8 Rack video I was recently in, what I made sure got into the script was talking about how we could not legally sell. What's interesting about this is that there is a reaction that I sometimes encounter from people who want to buy my work but can't, that doesn't make any rational sense for someone to become enraged. And I mean extremely angry, beyond any reasonable amount for something where it's just, can I buy this thing? And the answer is no. And it just makes me sad that the only way people feel like they can appreciate something is by demanding that it be sold. My work is free. It doesn't need to be sold. It's already there for you. The exact same thing that I print is what I'm posting on Twitter. Maybe there's a little Twitter compression, but I promise you, when it's printed on like a 3.5 by 2.5 inch piece of paper, you can't tell. And especially because my art is so impressionistic anyway, or it's pixel art. Like, what's going to compress on pixel art? Even though I would be absolutely happy to make a Secret Lair if Wizards of the Coast approached me, I do have this dread that earlier I mentioned that I described myself as an altruist, despite that not being the accurate term, because it was the fastest way to get people to understand what I was doing. I worry that I will eventually have to describe myself as someone who makes custom Secret Lairs. I worry that the business side of this game will have overtaken the ability for people to even use the language needed to conceptualize of taking control of it themselves without financial contribution to the original owning company. I guess I'm just in this weird position where I'm at as a creator kind of pits me sort of both against and for the existence of Secret Lairs, because I got into what I was doing because I wanted to extend the visual styles that I would see in Magic, and it does make me happy to see all kinds of variety. With the recent metal poster Secret Lair, it completely disregarded the way that the frame is normally arranged. That's something I do a lot. In fact, it's something I do so much that some people thought that when they saw the images, they thought that I was the one that had made it, which is weird to think about. I see the kind of work that I'm doing be represented in the official game now. And I will say that they make these things a long time in advance. I've only been on the scene for like a year, and I've only been a major name for like half of that time. So please, for the love of God, do not think that I am saying that Wizards of the Coast is ripping me off. God, no. But I feel sad that my work is being treated as though it's like a portfolio for Wizards to commodify, rather than something to be appreciated on its own, without the context of ownership, without people needing to buy it. It's weird, because if Wizards approached me to do one, I would say yes, but I don't want people to treat my work that wasn't made to be one as though it was. Anyway, I hope I've rambled enough at you to be entertaining. Background music I'm using is made by my lovely fiance, Awkward Marina. Go check her out, obviously, if you like music. You know, I have Patreon, all that stuff, whatever. But yeah, that's it.